We live in an era where your phone tracks every step you take, yet a 300-ton Boeing 777 was swallowed whole by the night sky. On March 8, 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 taxied down the runway at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. It was a standard red-eye flight to Beijing, carrying 227 passengers, 12 crew members, and typical commercial cargo. For the first 38 minutes, the flight proceeded exactly by the book. At 1:19 a.m. local time, as the plane approached Vietnamese airspace, Malaysian Air Traffic Control handed them off. The cockpit responded with a routine sign-off, "Good night, Malaysian 370. This map traces the flight's planned route. 90 seconds after that final radio call, as the aircraft passed waypoint Igari, the plane's Mode S transponder stopped transmitting. Civilian radar lost the aircraft entirely at 1720 UTC. Transponders do not typically turn themselves off. The sudden, silent severing of the aircraft's data link immediately turned a quiet midnight flight into a massive search and rescue operation. Controllers in Malaysia and Vietnam stared at these cluttered interfaces, trying to hail the aircraft on multiple frequencies. The screen showed nothing but empty airspace. The immediate assumption was a catastrophic mid-air emergency. But days later, a review of primary radar data from the Malaysian military revealed a different story. The plane had not fallen from the sky at waypoint Igari. Instead, the raw military radar returns showed a large aircraft executing a sharp, deliberate turn to the west. It climbed, accelerated, and flew back across the Malaysian peninsula, heading out over the Strait of Malacca. A sudden decompression or explosive failure leaves a debris field directly below the last known position. Navigating a heavy jetliner through a sharp left turn and maintaining altitude requires active manual control. Though the primary communication systems were dark, a secondary piece of hardware was still quietly working. The aircraft's satellite data unit automatically logged onto an Inmarsat satellite. It sent a silent electronic handshake every hour. By analyzing the signal's travel time, investigators calculated a specific distance radius, a curved line known as the 7th arc, marking where the plane exhausted its fuel. This bathymetric planing map shows the designated 7th arc search zones. Teams from the ATSB and Ocean Infinity scoured over 120,000 square kilometers of the seafloor, navigating deep underwater trenches and the mountainous terrain of the Broken Ridge. Sonar sweeps mapped the ocean floor with incredible precision, yet months turned into years, and the main fuselage was never found. This map illustrates the vast expanse of the Western Indian Ocean. 16 months after the disappearance, beach cleaners on the island of Reunion discovered a 2-meter piece of an airplane wing, a flaperon, washed ashore in the sand. More debris soon surfaced: a Rolls-Royce cowling in South Africa, a no-step panel in Mozambique. Serial numbers confirmed these pieces belonged to Flight 370. Examining the flaperon, researchers found it covered in small hitchhikers. Clusters of Lepus anatifera, gooseneck barnacles, had attached to the metal during its time adrift. Barnacles build shells layer by layer, absorbing oxygen. Analyzing trapped oxygen isotopes, biologists determined the exact sea temperatures the barnacle lived through. Comparing this temperature diary against 50,000 simulated drift trajectories, scientists eliminated incorrect routes, isolating specific paths leading back to the 7th arc. A tiny drifting crustacean ended up providing a more detailed timeline of the wreckage's path than billions of dollars in military and civilian radar arrays. While satellite data points to the 7th arc, independent researchers analyzed historical WSPR net data, a global network of amateur radio signals, to trace the aircraft's physical disruption of radio waves. This analysis suggests an alternative flight path, showing the aircraft closely hugging the coastline of Sumatra. It is a route that aligns with the satellite data without requiring sudden altitude changes. Physical debris confirms the crash. Radar data tracks its turn, but it is the official safety report that addresses the cause. The report states mechanical failure cannot explain the sequential, precise deactivation of multiple independent communication systems while the aircraft flew for hours. Transponders were turned off. The course was altered. The plane flew until its tanks ran dry. The accumulated data points point to a singular, chilling conclusion. Flight 370 was flown into the remote ocean by deliberate human action. Behind the satellite math and isotope analysis are 239 people. Their families have spent a decade without closure, waiting in a terrible limbo for a final answer that has yet to arrive. The loss forced the international aviation community to implement strict new tracking mandates. Modern airliners are now required to broadcast their position minute by minute, ensuring no flight can ever slip off the grid in the same way again. We have barnacle shells detailing ocean temperatures. We have fragments of wing flaps recovered from African beaches. We have satellite logs tracking a 7-hour journey into the dark. Looking at the disabled transponders, the sharp turn on military radar, and the vast seventh arc, what do you think happened in that cockpit? The disappearance of Flight 370 proves that even with thousands of satellites watching our every move, the ocean is vast enough to swallow a giant entirely.